Today, let's talk about the persecution of religious minorities in India. On December 11, 2019, a law called the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, was passed in India. This controversial law amends the Citizenship Act of 1955, so that migrants from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, whose immigration into India was previously considered illegal, can more easily obtain Indian citizenship. This seems rather good at first, but looking a little bit more closely, we can see that the new CAA from 2019 explicitly mentions that Muslims are excluded from this regulation, which has already been criticized worldwide. The law, along with the National Register for Citizens (NRC) and National Population Register (NPR), sets a dangerous precedent by introducing religious affiliation as the basis for Indian citizenship, with the potential to render millions of people stateless. The effects of the NRC even affect many people who were already born in India and whose parents were born in India. In addition, all people who do not have any documents for other reasons such as poverty or relocation, etc., also lose their Indian citizenship through the NRC. Those who are no longer welcome in India are put into deportation facilities. These prisons are particularly built to lock up those people who have lost their citizenship as a result of the changes in the law, until they can be deported from India. In these prisons, the Indians who are imprisoned without any guilt are exposed to inhuman conditions. They are not getting enough food, nor do they receive enough medical care. The people of India have organized peaceful protests against the CAA and NRC, in which members of all religions take part in order to stop the unconstitutional changes in the law of India. They stand for religious freedom, social peace and mutual respect. But the Indian government has declared an unconstitutional ban on gatherings, so that the Indian police repeatedly used batons and tear gas against the peaceful demonstrators. Several hundred were injured and between 20 and 60 people died. There have been an increasing number of internet blocks in parts of India. Is the Indian government trying to silence the critical voices with all its might to prevent the rest of the world from learning about this information? Indian Prime Minister Modi justified the exclusion of Muslims by stating they did not suffer religious persecution where they previously came from. But is that really true? This argument is also intended to hide the fact that the Indian government systematically excludes Muslims because of their religion, which incidentally violates the freedom of religion enshrined in the Indian constitution. Modi's party, the BJP, is the political arm of the RSS, a Hindu nationalist and paramilitary organization known for its Hindu extremist ideology, the aim of which is to establish a Hindu state of God. The RSS is the parent organization of all kinds of Indian Hindu extremism. All leaders of the ruling BJP have a link to RSS. In fact, BJP members are usually also members of the RSS or one of its 35 branches. According to BJP leading members, there will be no more Muslims and Christians in India by 2021. Therefore, persecution of religious minorities is on the daily list. But since the government of Modi since 2014, crimes have increased by 97%, and Islam and Christianity are subject to severe persecution, since the Hindu extremists particularly want to cleanse their country of these beliefs. The extremist Hindus also do not shy away from using significant force to achieve their goal, and it is by far the strongest driving force behind the persecution in India. It is ever present and very violent. Above all, it is young people who identify most to the Hindu nationalist movement, and with the BJP in power, extremist Hindus feel empowered to persecute religious minorities and in fact enjoy impunity. They feel they have to make it clear that India is above all the state of the Hindu and that minorities really have no place there. The religious minorities suffer from massive persecution and discrimination. It often happens with Christians that they are accused of forcibly evangelizing people and converting them to their faith. They are therefore persecuted and threatened with violence, which can range from beatings to lynching. But it can also simply mean that you are being driven out of the village or the city. With Muslims, one proceeds even more brutally. It starts with them being forced to kneel in mud and eat pork, and by charges like slaughtering cows, they are to expect death most of the time. The main persecutors are the extremist Hindus, but it also emanates from various other extremist groups such as extremist Buddhists, New Buddhism, and extremist Sikhs. Christians with a Hindu background bear the brunt of the persecution in India, and the persecution is felt at all levels of society, from the personal level to the state and church levels. They are constantly being pressured to return to Hinduism. Sometimes, even entire villages are surrounded to force Christian residents to convert back to Hinduism. Those who refuse face death. Although the number of incidents reported is very high, it should be noted that this is only the tip of the iceberg. Many incidents go unreported in the media. Now, in the time of COVID-19, you can already suspect that the persecution won't be less, since religious minorities, especially the Muslims, are being scapegoated. We cannot look away, and we won't. Don't you think by 2020 we shouldn't need to speak about human rights and religious freedom anymore? For a glimpse of change, click the link in the description to sign a petition.